What's going on YouTube? It's your girl Mercedes gang. You feel me? The gang, because we don't come with no price tag, period. Anyways, y'all, I'm back with another little reaction video by my boy Get Like Prince. Please like, share, and subscribe to his channel. Future, hip-hop's biggest snake. Oh, yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, there were things I seen coming up, like growing up listening to Future, being a fan of Future. Like, there were some things that I did see about Future that I wasn't too much of a fan of myself. Some moves he might have made. I don't know. But let's get straight into this video, y'all. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
Right now, Future is looking like a real interesting character in hip-hop because he started, the whole hip-hop civil war and then kind of played every side of it. Future didn't just pick a side, he played every angle. Think about it. 2024 comes around, Future drops his album, We Don't Trust You, and guess what happened? He has a Kendrick Lamar feature. Kendrick Lamar feature, that was the feature like that started everything. And as time would go on, we would see Future pick every side. He would come out, start this beef, him and Kendrick. Then next album he dropped, he would have J. Cole on it. Then fast forward, J. Cole dropped his album. We got Future on it. Drake just dropped Iceman.
And there's Future on it.
Future quite literally is playing every single side of this, and he's not picking a side, which is very interesting to see because time and time again, we see Drake being mad at people for not picking a side. Oh, you rocking with him, but you rocking with me. But when it comes to Future, he's the exception. Now, there's a real big conversation on the internet right now because
I wonder why that is. You know what I mean? Like, how is it Future is just over here, boom, 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 boom. What was the recipe? What is it?
people are putting it together. They're really looking at it and they're like, damn, how did this happen? When that album came out, I looked at it and I was like, bro, Future and Drake squashed this? Like, how did Drake become okay with this? How was he okay with making more music with the man who started the whole beef? But Future and Drake always had a real strange relationship. They were cool. They even dropped collab tapes. They dropped so many songs together. Future did so much for Drake's career and Drake did so much for Future's career. So to see them fall out all them years ago kind of caught a lot of people off guard. And a lot of people was pointing fingers toward a lot of different people. They was like, look, Future cool with Metro. You know, Metro, it was about a woman. It was about this. It was about that. It was a lot of conversations going on. And when you look back at that situation, Future always tried to downplay his role in basically changing the landscape of hip hop. He always tries to downplay his part in that beef and make it seem like, oh, you know, I didn't really have too much to do with this. Like, it didn't really have a lot to do with me, when in fact, it had a lot to do with that nigga. I mean, just look at this Future track run. The fact that Future got away with this run of songs is insane. He had like that, him, Metro, Kendrick. Two people Drake hate. J. Cole drop. J. Cole, Future. Drake drop. Drake, Future. This nigga literally played every side of the beef, and it's like nobody is looking at him crazy for this. But right, Kendrick and Future.
Which is wild, which is crazy to me, because I'm just like, is anybody else seeing this shit? It's just fucking done with this nigga Future.
And it started, and they made this music, and they did whatever. But it was always strange when you really looked at it. And Future came out and kind of said it was strange. He kind of spoke about how he was feeling a way about what Kendrick was saying and how Kendrick went about this beef, right? Because, you know, Kendrick came out, he like, man, F this big three. Like, F the big three, it's just me. You feel me? That's the type of time he was on. And Future felt the way about that because he was like, damn, I'm here too. Like, Future literally came out and said, I felt the way that everybody was leaving me out of the big three beef. He was like, Cole, Kendrick, Drake, but no Future?
Really? I thought Future just had his own, like, own little, at least for me, he had his own little category. The fuck ups and commas, hey, fuck ups and commas. Like, that was a whole different category for me when it comes to like Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Like, I don't even know how to exactly explain it. I didn't know Future felt some type of way.
And granted, Future does have a point because hip hop today, modern day hip hop, would not be the same without Future. Future is one of the most influential artists of my generation, of Drake's time. Like, and I think sometimes people try to downplay that. Like, Future does get his flowers, but I don't think he gets the amount of love that he actually deserves. Like, Future done created a lot of niggas. Future done created a lot of sounds and changed hip hop many times. Think about how long Future has been around. Right now, Future is still one of the most streamed rappers.
I think the farthest song I can go that I remembered from Future was Racks. Makes sense, 2011. Oh, that was a good ass year too, man.
He been around since 2010, 09, we've been knowing Future. So for him to kind of not get downplayed, but people don't respect Future as much as they should is interesting. And you know, the whole Big 3 conversation is a prime example of it. It felt like Kendrick was playing in his own face on his own song. How did hip hop write this? Kendrick verse on Like That catapulted the song to #1, but Future felt like he was slighted by a verse that openly dissed Drake and J. Cole. It may sound like an odd reason to be angry, but Future remained steadfast. He ultimately felt that Kendrick excluded him from the discussion of the Big 3 on his own song. He said, Big 3 on my song. I'm supposed to be the one that gets mad, and I'm still confused about that. Future was also frustrated by the fact that nobody, peers or fans, asked him about how he felt about being excluded from the Big 3 discussion. He perceived this in some ways as being more offensive than the direct disses that Drake and Cole received. Nobody cares about what I think. That was so effed up about everything. And back to what I was saying, Future is one of the most influential artists of modern day hip hop. So many sounds, so many artists were.
I mean, I understand where Future is coming from, but like I said, with me, my own personal opinion, I always had a different category with Future. Like, he just had his own sound that he brought to music, you know, his own shit. I don't know, me personally, I didn't think to add him in there. I'm like, you already great as it is. Like, what you talking about? But I can understand why he feels some type of way about not being involved. Shit. I don't even know. Yeah.
Inspired by Dirty Sprite and all the music Future done put out over the years. Why are we not giving this nigga the real credit he deserves? Now, granted, he might be playing every side of this beat, but you can't overlook the fact, nigga, Future is that nigga. Future hold Kendrick responsible for not taking him seriously on his own song. He points to the other so-called Big 3 members. However, when it came to their responses, Future believed he had far more reason to be offended by the verse than Drake or Cole. I ain't a part of this Big 3. I'm nobody on my own song. If I didn't get mad, nobody should have got mad. Like, why is everybody mad when he's talking about me on my song? And that part of the interview confused fans the most.
Okay, all right. I was gonna bring that up earlier. I was gonna say, when this song came out and he did like a magazine interview, he did something, I don't know, some type of interview, and he said something along the line that it didn't really like involve him. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't part of this Big 3. I'm nobody on my song, man. He told GQ. Okay, that's what I remembered the last time I heard about this whole Big 3 situation. So I'm not understanding why Future is upset. That is very confusing. Why he would be mad. I get it. It's Future. I love Future. But you said you weren't a part of it. That's why I'm like, I don't know what. Okay.
When Future claimed to be unaware of the brewing Big 3 beef. Right. Now, he was coming out this time, he was like, look, bro, I didn't know Drake and Kendrick was beefing. I didn't know there was any tension between these people. My grandma probably could have told you it was tension brewing between these niggas. Everybody knew that. I don't know why Future really tried to play.
That's what I'm saying. Who do you think he was talking about in the song?
Like this is what I'm saying. Future 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but the nigga was really both feet in and then just jumped out there. Because what do you mean you didn't know they was beefing? You didn't know it was no tension. Yes, you did. That was kind of impossible to not know that it was problems going on. These were issues that were building up for years and years. This wasn't like, oh, overnight they beefing. This was something we seen on the way. We just didn't know when it was actually gonna come. Future basically was like, look, I'm out of the loop. I didn't even know about none of that. On the tension brewing between Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, Future would say, there's a beef. I didn't even know there was a beef. I didn't know they had nothing going on. I ain't never participated in no rap battles. And fans noted that there were already tension between Future, Metro Boomin, and Drake. So the notion of Pluto being blind to what was going on prior to Like That is a bit convenient. Either way, it sounds like fallout from the beef and Kendrick's verse is still being felt. So Future comes out, he makes Like That, the song that changed everything. And then he felt the way about the song because he was being excluded. He looked at it and was like, damn. You kind of dissing me on my own song. Like, I gave you the platform and you misusing it. I mean, it makes sense that Future does feel away. Like I said, he doesn't get a lot of the credit he deserves. People often overlook him, and I think that's just kind of crazy. Future could drop an album today and do 250,000 copies for his week. He's not the nigga to play with. A lot of these other people can't do that. Barely anybody in the industry can do that. But back to what I was saying. Over the years, Drake and Future had always been cool. They was always friends. Sometimes they had fell out, but for the most part, they were on good terms until that time period leading up to this beef. Future and Drake kind of started beefing over a woman, or at least that's still what the speculations are to this day. A lot of people look at this and they're like, these two niggas really started all of this over a person. With speculations about the cause of Drake and Future's strained relationship, some theories claim that the rappers feud over a woman. These theories weren't without cause. And on Her Loss, the Drake and 21 album, basically Drake was on there and he was kind of talking about it. He kind of hinted toward the fact that you snaking me over a woman. And fans started to think, okay, Drake is talking about Future here. Hot New Hip Hop would say some fans believe Drake's lyrics were aimed at Future and proof that their feud was because of a woman. One can interpret the lyrics as Drake complaining about Future flirting with a woman he had interest in and still acting like a bro in their music collaborations. And more lyrics seemingly show that Drake and Future might have slept with the same woman, leading to issues between. But what I think kind of turned the beef up a lot more between Drake and Future, their real problems, was Metro Boomin. That's the nigga to point at behind all of this, if we really being honest. Metro and Drake had always had their problems. Metro didn't like Drake, Drake didn't like Metro, and it was a building up behind the scenes. People started to realize this. It was times where Metro would be working with a specific artist and Drake want to get on this. Look at Trance, for example, the Travis Scott song that was on one of Metro's albums, right? Metro comes out, he drops his album, and Drake was like, yes, bro, like, I want to get on this song, I want to get on this song, and Metro kind of was like, you know, you can get on here, and then he was like, oh, nah, never mind, like, the song kind of fool. I'm going to play the clip when Metro spoke about why Drake wasn't able to get on this song.
But, like, I was letting them know that it was really just done for real, and I was really just set on how it was. I was like, bro, I ain't even trying to sell you no dream. Like, it's really, like, just locked in. I'm locked in where it was, but he hit me and was just like, man, let me see if it's just anything he could add to it. And he was like, if you don't like it, then
Bro.
whatever. So he did some stuff. A couple parts was cool, but like I just felt like, just even with like Slime Burst and Trav Burst and the outro, it was just already like, it just really wasn't no room. It was just wasn't no room. It wasn't nothing personal. It just wasn't no room. So
Understandable.
I just ended up using the original, and I guess the other one just leaked or something.
And when speaking on Drake, he would kind of say that like some personal issues kind of put that rift in between him and Drake, made them not really like each other anymore. Metro would say, me and Drake had a personal issue, and for the record, it wasn't over no girl or nothing like that. It was a personal issue that hurt me and disappointed. And without him specifically saying what he was referring to, he would say, but if you can take all the rap and entertainment out of it, it's like, have you ever been real cool with somebody and y'all fell out over something that happens every day? It's just regular stuff that just happens to have an audience. As for the chatter that Boomin cooked up with his 2 albums with Future, people really think we sat for 2 years making 2 albums to be like, yo, F this dude, what kind of stuff is that? You really think we gonna spend that much time, effort, and resources just trying to get at somebody on an album, blowing budgets on 2 albums, going over budget to diss a nigga? Metro Boomin told GQ that he did have some regrets about how he handled the issue online in a series of tweets attacking Drake in response to Drake firing back at Metro. Remember Family Matters, he dissed Metro. He literally said on Family Matters Future, we never really even had beef like this until Metro came into the picture. He had to be in your ear fueling what happened between us. But Metro would say, now that I did have my moment online, which I do regret, I should have been stronger than that. That was out of character for me. But at a certain point, it's like, I don't rap. So you're just gonna shit on me on all of these songs. I'm not gonna get on the booth, so I'm gonna tweet at you. And with Metro being around Future every day, of course, some of that was gonna rub off on him. That's why you really can't be cool with people that's cool with people that don't like you, right? Future might not have had the worst intentions for Drake, but if he was Metro every day, some of that Drake hate was gonna rub off, and apparently it did, because otherwise, like that wouldn't have been on that album. Like that wouldn't have came out with Future on it. It would have been Kendrick and Metro, no Future. But Future was in that environment. He went Metro. He with all these people that don't really support Drake or like Drake, and it kind of rubbed off on him, or at least that's what it seemed like to me. But right, they beefing. In the middle of the whole beef, you know what Kendrick was saying, bro, run to Atlanta. Atlanta made you feel like you was that nigga when you was not him. You was not like that. You run to Atlanta to get an ego boost. You run to Atlanta for a check. You run to Atlanta to steal their culture, to be a culture vulture. Y'all know that conversation. I spoke about it before. Drake steals a lot. Kendrick was like, you're stealing from Atlanta. You need Atlanta to thrive. And when Drake would come out with Iceman, his whole song, Ran to Atlanta, was a play on what Kendrick said. It was, oh, nigga, you said I'm going to run to Atlanta. So I guess Drake was like, oh, I'm going to prove your point, and I'm going to run to Atlanta and make this song with Future and Molly Santana. And it was the irony of that. Drake running to Atlanta, Drake running to Future, and they made a song that's kind of going crazy right now. But the conversation about Drake running to Atlanta was interesting to see, because we had Atlanta telling Drake not to get into this beef. 21 Savage, for example, said he was telling Drake, hey, maybe let's not beef with Kendrick Lamar. Maybe that's not the nigga to get into a rap beef with, because he will wash you. XXL wrote, Drake will finally drop Iceman, and Iceman appears gay superior.
I feel like Drake kind of just knew better, though. Like, he knew not to step in that ring, and he did, so. Take a L, shit.
This is from 21 Savage, Montana, and Future. This marks the first time these two were on the track together since 2022. After being one of hip-hop's most dynamic non-group duos, a rift formed between Drake and Future in 2023. In March of 2024, Future and Metro released the album We Don't Trust You, which included several shots at Drake. And it's been 2 years since then. Neither Drake or Future has spoken directly on what caused the issues between their friendship, though it's been speculation that it involves a woman. In April, Future was spotted wearing apparel from Drake's Nike brand that led to speculation that Future had mended fences with Drake and would come back on Drake's album. And over these past few months, we would see that the conversation brewing of, oh, is Drake and Future back cool again? Like, people was really speculating on if Future was gonna pop up on his album. And when he popped up on his album, people were surprised because Future was the one that started all of this, and the nigga kind of playing all sides. He never picked a side.
That's funny. I definitely say Future for sure pushed this whole narrative for sure, and yeah, no, nigga, what is you doing? Like,
and that's just interesting to see Drake not feel the way about that, because Drake has always felt the way about people picking sides when it comes to him. Literally on the Iceman album, there's plenty of tracks where he like, bro, if you picking that side, Kendrick's side, nigga, don't come back over here. But Future's the exception. Granted, it is Future, but I don't know. Future is kind of in a questionable state right now. But all beef aside, nigga, it's been years since we really got a Future album, bro. Come feed the streets. It's been 2 years. I was at the barbershop earlier. They was in there playing Future, and it really kind of clicked in my head. Like, damn, I'm kind of fiending for a Future album right now. If Future came out and dropped that album, I'm listening to it 30 times. I need that.
For sure. For sure. Shoot, I can't believe it's really been that long. 2 whole years? But Future reminds me more of like a club party type of music. I just, you know what I mean? And then you got Drake, J. Cole, and K-Dot. They're just really good with their lyrics. Like, they're more lyricists, whatever the fuck, you get what I'm trying to say, than the whole, you know what I mean? Like, Future, he could, but shit. He makes a lot of fast music, I know that for sure. He's probably the only person I know that can get away with this type of shit, but y'all let me know in the comment section below. Shoot. Toxic King. Anyways, please also let me know if you guys want me to react to any more videos at MercedesFi_, and I'm gonna catch y'all in another mother freaking video. Deuces.